What is up everyone, welcome back to another episode. I hope you're all doing well. And let me introduce you to the new NQi GT Pro Cargo. It is built for deliveries. Yes, a bike specifically built for delivering your cargo, your food deliveries. And yeah, this is going to be a first impressions video on this bike. This is the big brother to the NQi Cargo. And with the Pro version, you get a bigger batteries, because there are two batteries on this bike, and also a bigger 3,500 watt motor made by Bosch. So we'll go through the main things first. Anything electric, people want to know how big are the batteries and how fast does this thing go. And the first battery is underneath this seat, so we simply just click that open and there we go. We have got our 18650 35 amp hour battery made by Panasonic. And I was thinking, where would they put the second battery on here? I was really like mind boggled to think where they would put it. They have put it in a genius place. We just remove this foot cover here, stick the key in here, turn it, and this pops up. And under here is your second battery. That gives you a total range of up to 80 miles on this bike. I've been riding it around now for the last 6 days and I have yet to drain the battery completely. I've just been running errands on it and cruising around town and getting used to riding a scooter again. My last scooter that I had was about 3 or 4 years ago, so I have been getting back into the mode of riding this. So what exactly powers this bike? Well, down here in the hub of the rear wheel, we have got a Bosch 3,500 watt motor, which gives you a top speed of up to 47 miles an hour in setting 3. I'm going to get into the setting side of things very soon when we go for a ride. As you can see around the bike, we have got some other details that some of you might notice. There is no passenger seat. The reason for that is they have a reinforced frame here to fit a top box, and the top box that I've got on here is supplied by Motorcycle Parts Warehouse. They supply top boxes and everything to do with motorcycles. Really sturdy. I haven't had any issues with this, and yes, I have been carrying a lot of things. I'll get into that in a moment. There is one thing in there that I do want to show you. But if you are looking for a top box and good quality top boxes, then I have actually got a discount code for you. You save yourself 10% on this top box or anything else on their website. Use the code MWP-EATS. All the information will be down below. But yeah, go and check them out. So we'll move around to the front. We've got some smart LED lighting on this bike. All of the lights on this bike are LED. Hopefully the GoPro picks up how bright these lights are. We've got LED lights all around. That same goes for the indicators, also the rear lights. So we've also got some protective panels all around the scooter. You've got one on the left side here, one on the front, and then same mirrored around the other side. This is just to protect the scooter from any little knocks and bangs that you may have whilst delivering. But yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of protection. I'm going to move up now to the dashboard, and this is where all the magic happens. We do have a nice little cutout here. You can put a power bank. I keep my wires in there for my GoPro and any other little bits and pieces. You've also got a luggage hook here, so you can hook some bags onto the bike and keep it in between your feet. So yeah, we'll start on the right side. As any other moped or motorbike, you have a throttle on the right hand side. Simply just turn that and it engages the motor. We've got our front brake, our ready button, so when you press this you get a little ready light up there and then you're ready to go. But yeah, you can turn that off so you've got no accidental throttle engagement on there. Here we have our power mode settings, so we have plus and minus. When you start the bike up, you're always in dynamic mode, which is mode 2. So as you go up and down, obviously you get the different speed settings. One is eco mode, and this will give you the most range on the bike, but however it is limited to 13 miles per hour. If we go into setting 2, we are limited to 29 miles per hour. And setting 3 is where all the fun is at, and that gives you a top speed of 49 miles per hour. Obviously we're not on the road, so you wouldn't get that with the road ride, but the top speed is about 47 miles per hour. This is one thing I love about bikes now that have this. We have hazard lights. Hazard lights are very, very ideal when it comes to deliveries. You can hear that sound there. This is the sound that it makes. You can change it. Got our hydraulic brake fluid on each side on the chambers here. So we've got high beam, low beam. So as I switch that switch, you also get an indication up here. Indicators. And there's something very, very smart with these indicators. They automatically switch off. So when you come to a junction and you're turning left, you hit the left indicator, you make the turn, and they automatically switch off. You don't have to do anything. The bike knows when you have turned left or when you have turned right to cancel the indicator. The bottom buttons here, the red one is always your horn. I'll give it a little toot. You see this little button here? I never knew this was a thing on motorbikes. I know in cars they have it, but on motorbikes and mopeds, let alone an electric moped, we have cruise control. Cruise control on a moped. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. It's very, very handy when you're in the 20 miles an hour speed limit zone, because that's pretty much everywhere in London is on 20 miles an hour only. This is the main display for the bike. All of the information is here. You've got your 2 batteries and they're in 20% bars, so you can see battery 1 here and battery 2 here, showing me that I've got 80% combined. So between both of the batteries I've got 80%. We've got our mode selections here, so you can move up and down in between the modes, but I tend to leave it on mode 3 as that's the most fun and most responsive. And then here you've got your readout of how fast you're going, and you can change this in the app. You can change from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. So yeah, up here you can see in the top right hand corner we've got some little symbols there. So these are the symbols for the GPS on the bike. This bike has a built-in tracker, and even with the batteries removed, the bike is still actively tracking, and you can remove the batteries and not have to worry about the tracking system. Is still there and everything is inside the app. Also got the time there in the top left hand corner, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. As for the accessories on this bike, NIU has kindly provided a phone holder. I was a bit worried with this because this phone is 6.9 inches and I was thinking there's no way this phone holder is going to fit, but it does, and you can actually fit a bigger phone in here if you wish, if you have like an iPhone Pro Max or whatever the biggest iPhone is nowadays. Something very key being a delivery driver is having power. We've also got a built-in USB slot here to charge the phone. Very handy. There we go, we're charging off of the batteries. Also have another accessory which is in the back box, and I'm gonna get that out now because we are gonna go for a cruise to the London Eye. Just gonna be a nice chilled ride, and I'll show you how the bike handles and what it's like in and out of traffic in the city. So the other accessory that NIU kindly gave me with this bike was the windproof cover, and it's an absolute godsend in this bitter cold wind that we've got during the winter time. You simply put this on and you can't feel any wind whatsoever on your legs, and yeah, keeps you nice and warm. Well made. It's got a nice little pocket here with some magnetic clips. I don't know what you would store in there, but you can store something. It's a pretty deep pocket as well. I was quite surprised at how deep this actually was. But yeah, you can keep some stuff in there, and it simply clips on with these little cords that are provided. They just go over the wing mirrors, and yeah, you clip it on here so you can get on and off the bike and leave it on here. We're going to be traveling 6.6 miles away. It's saying it's going to take us 30 minutes. We are ready to go. I'm in mode 3. The one thing I love about this, completely silent. and for making YouTube videos, this is just what I need. The running costs on this are very, very good as well. It costs £1 to charge approximately, which comes out at like a penny a mile. There's no road tax on this vehicle. We don't have to pay any road tax. You save so much money, especially as a delivery driver. If you're using this bike to make money, which this bike is made for, then you're going to be making way much more money. This bike retails for £3,700, but you can get some grants from the government if you're buying an electric vehicle. Also as well, when you're going at lower speeds, this goes into eco mode, so it doesn't use as much power. We've also got regenerative braking, so as I brake, there is power going back into those batteries, giving me more range, so you're not wasting energy when it comes to the braking system, and I think that's pretty smart, a pretty smart feature to have. So to get this bike, all you need to do is have a CVT, be 17 years old, and do your CVT. I have friends that have petrol scooters, and when they tell me how much money they're spending on like oil changes and air filters and MOTs and stuff like that, I'm just like, what? You're spending so much money. I mean, the only fluid on this bike, the only liquid on this bike is for the hydraulic brakes. Nothing else. No oil, nothing. Everyone knows with electric vehicles, the main cost is the motor and the batteries, and a lot of companies cheap out on the other components, but I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised, because NIU are the leading in, they're leading the market within the electric motorcycle industry at the moment. They've sold, I think, close to 1 million of these scooters. There's nothing that feels cheap on this bike. There's nothing I've seen or experienced so far riding this bike where I think, maybe they could have done a little bit better there, or if anything, it's exceeded my expectations. Just because I've been dealing with electric bikes quite a lot, and I've seen some of the parts that they use, and I'm like, it could have been a bit better here and there. But honestly, I'm quite impressed with this bike so far. I mean, the cruise control is just, so I'll stick the cruise control on now. Here we go, cruising. My hand's not on the throttle. As soon as you brake, that cruise control comes off and you can start up again, build your speed up. There we go, we're cruising. There are two ways of charging this bike. There is a port underneath the seat, and you can plug that straight in and it charges both batteries, but that is the longer way of doing it. That takes up to 6 hours of charging, but if you use the splitter that is provided by NIU, you can cut that time down to 4 hours. 4 hours charge time means you can do an early morning shift, charge the batteries, and then for the evening shift you've got a fully charged battery again. Yeah, the power on this is pretty good. So I'll come to a stop here. There's no one behind me. We'll go full throttle, let go of the brake. 1, 2, 3. So 3.5 seconds to reach 20 miles an hour. The torque on here is pretty good. Obviously, with a 3,500 watt motor, you would expect the torque to be good, and it is. We've got front and rear disc brakes on this bike with front and rear hydraulic suspension. It's really comfortable. As you know, in the cities there are a lot of potholes and damaged roads. It's super comfortable. This bike weighs 116 kilos, which is pretty light considering for what it is. 116 kilos is not a lot. Very, very maneuverable. But yeah, the auto cancelling indicators, so handy. You don't have to worry about it. You just turn it on and you don't even have to worry about turning them off. So that was a nice chilled ride. Just about to pull up to the London Eye now. But yeah, I'll leave all of the links down below for the new website, so you can go and check out all of the other bikes that this company makes. Finally pulling up to the London Eye. Check that out. That was a nice enjoyable ride, very comfortable. That is the end of the episode. I made it to the London Eye, and yeah, I'm going to leave all the links down below regarding this bike, so you can go and check out some more information on it if you wish. Also, don't forget, you can save yourself 10% on the motorcycle parts warehouse top box. Very big top box, and yeah, you can save yourself 10%. They've also got a lot more items for sale, motorbike related, so be sure to check them out. Yeah, I'm gonna get used to this bike. I'm gonna keep riding it around the city, finding out new features. Let's quickly head over to the NIU app. So there we go. Today I've done 25 miles in total, and I've got 37 miles remaining. A full review video is going to be coming on this bike, so stick around for that. But yeah, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Be sure to leave a like and leave your comments and thoughts down below. I love reading your comments, and I always try to reply to all of them. But yeah, take care, and until next time, peace.